NASDAQ, what an honor to be with you here today. It means so much to me because when I was 14 years old, I made up my mind that I wanted to go to the Wharton Business School. It was from the main character in a book, and I climbed up to the top shelf and pulled down the W encyclopedia book. And there it was, the Wharton Business School, the best business school in the world. And I decided in my adolescent mind that if I could graduate from someplace amazing like the Wharton Business School, maybe my parents would stop arguing so much. You know, you think it's all your fault when you're a kid. Well, I went to Wharton. I graduated with a 4.0 GPA in my entrepreneurship major, and I come home to get the attaboys, and what do I get? My parents get into a huge argument. My dad storms out of the house, slams the door, and I'm sitting on the couch in my living room where I grew up, and my mom's right there. And I don't know where this came from, but all of a sudden I say to her, "You know, Mom, the way he resents you all these years, have you been cheating on Dad?" And I'm sitting there in the living room where I grew up thinking to myself, I cannot believe I asked my mom a smart-ass question like that. Like, what kind of kid asks his own mom a question like that? And then I'm thinking to myself, how come she's not answering the question? Then she says, "He's not your real father. Your real father was a doctor at the fertility clinic where we were going for 6 years, and you look just like him." Could you imagine everything you thought you knew about who you were in a second? Poof. Not only didn't I know who I was anymore, I sure as heck didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up anymore. So I called up the investment bank on the 87th floor of No. 1 World Trade Center. I said, "No thanks, guys." And naturally, I moved out to Hollywood. Started going on auditions, writing screenplays. This takes us all the way through the late 80s, through the 90s, to December 31st, 1999. Where were you? Were you at an ATM getting your Y2K money? Partying with family and friends? I was driving a taxi that night in Los Angeles. It was my 6th year as a taxi driver. And in the backseat of the cab were these two guys who were interns at Goldman Sachs talking to each other. "Hey, did you hear about Mr. Carrera? He just got to be the last partner before the IPO at Goldman, and he cashed out $100 million. You guys talking about Chris Carrera? How do you know Mr. Carrera? Chris Carrera was a pledge in my fraternity when I was the pledge master at Wharton. I used to make that little punk dance around the living room with his underpants on top of his head. Now he just cashed out $100 million, and I'm driving a cab, making $513 on New Year's Eve of the millennium." That was the night for me. I said, that's it. I'm not going to write anymore. I'm not going to follow my dreams anymore. I just focused on making money, changing who I was through personal development, self-help work, going to seminars. And as I changed inside, so did my outside circumstances. I started making money. I met my amazing wife, Allie. She believed in me more than I believed in myself. And man, throughout the 2000s, I got fat and happy. Obese, actually. And then I was at a men's self-help campfire, and the shaman points at me through the yellow and orange crackling flames. You don't know it yet, but you're already dead." Huh? What do you mean? What did he mean? I couldn't get it out of my mind. What did he mean? You're already dead? I'd wake up in the middle of the night. I'm already dead. What does he mean? I looked at my life on New Year's Day, 2009, and I asked myself the question, if this was going to be the last year of my life, what would I want to accomplish? And surprisingly, the first thing I decided to do was to write my book, What They Teach You at the Wharton Business School. That became my first best-selling book after I started promoting it on TV. TV led me to speaking. Speaking led me to what I do now, helping other authors, speakers, coaches, entrepreneurs to make their dreams become their reality. by going on TV and with prestigious speaking opportunities like the one we do in the summertime at Harvard. If you're an author, speaker, coach, and entrepreneur, you've got a dream and you want to take it to the next level and bring it into the reality, that's what we can make it possible for you to do. I'm Clint Arthur. Thanks for having me at NASDAQ.